Hello and welcome to the HEMA Trivia Tournament here at Battleborn Blades. This is kind of a unique event that they actually give away prizes for at this event, and we're going to play along at home. So welcome all the fencing fans, and let's get going. We'll have it started in just a moment. But yeah, we are back. Just a couple of minutes. They're getting everyone together, and we'll see what we've got. And we'll go ahead, and at this point, we're going to bring in Michael Forrest Kelly, who's running this event.
All right. You need to do it across the top because there's 5 rounds. Or you guys can do it vertically. You can do 5 rounds vertically. We do need, is 16 going to help us? HEMA Trivia. So for HEMA Trivia, if you were not here last year, there will be 4 rounds of questions. Questions are going to cover the historical, what we know as HEMA, which is to say the Festbücher, the authors, their lives, things like that. There will also be questions about the modern HEMA movement, like, what European geography and European languages, usually as they relate to the treatises in some capacity. Can everyone hear me okay? Okay.
And we do apologize if there's any random sparkles. Right. My 6-year-old daughter has found the sparkle button.
Make this clear. For every question...
That is right, folks. We do apologize if there is random sparkles. There is a 6-year-old here, and there's so there may occasionally be a random sparkle thrown in.
Okay.
Almost certainly going to be a lot of sparkles.
At the end of 45 seconds.
But let's turn it back over to Michael because he looks like he's ready to go.
Either get points or not points, depending on whether or not your answer is correct. I am the final arbiter on whether or not your answer is correct, whether or not you like it. Some things I may like. What's on these questions? Literally no one. I don't even hint about it to my students. Last year, there were 2 questions on the quiz that actually had something to do with my involvement, and my students got them more wrong than other contestants in the match. So that's how secretive I am about this. For every question you get right, you get a point. At the end of the round, the winner, or whoever has the most points in that round itself, will get a bonus. It's going to be 1 point for round 1, 2 points for round 2, and so on. Any questions before we begin? So cold. If you want to go grab your jacket or a fencing jacket?
No, I'm not weak. I can do it.
Okay, all right. I'm surprised I'm not cold. I'm wearing less than you, but maybe I'm just getting...
Well, I got to tell you, I was freezing to death yesterday, Ronan. I did end up having a temperature of 104 in the evening, so that might have been contributing to it.
All right,
You would think, out of all of the tournaments, Nevada would be the last one you would be cold at.
All right, it's absolutely true, but here we go.
All right, which of the following treatises contains images in the names of longsword techniques, but no explanation? I think Festbuch or Hausbuch, and La Noble Science des Jeux de Spade. If you are done answering...
If you're playing along at home, go ahead and throw your answers in chat.
So that it's clear that everyone has finished answering. Go ahead and reveal your answers.
All right, the revealing answers. I will say that I thought it was Talhofer. How about you, Ronan?
I also thought it was Talhofer. Yeah, it's Talhofer.
Hey, all right.
1, 2 correct answers. So that's going to be Jude and Alec. Jude doesn't even do longsword. Yeah. All right. Next question. Broadsword and a backsword. Is it the number of edges, the size and or shape of the basket, where the sword was used, or whether or not the blade was customarily kept in a scabbard?
Ronan, I got nothing.
I'm going to go with number of edges.
Number of edges, all right.
Answers in. And the correct answer is...
There we go. It's numbers of edges. I was actually
And the broadsword is used
reading
the
a
exact same
couple
way.
English texts
So
the other
we've
day
got points
that's
for- are we
made
going
that
from right to left or
specification.
left?
So I
Right
think
to
I got
left?
lucky
Okay,
on
so
that
we've
one.
got Aaron,
Well, I am
John,
surprised. I
Alex,
didn't know you could read.
Elliot,
Ah.
Jude.
Okay, maybe I had them read to me, but that's different.
Fair.
Next question. Which of the following swords were not in common use in colonial America? Hanger, the saber, or the foil?
I'm going to go with saber on this one. What about you, Ted? What's your
Well,
best guess?
I'm gonna go with the foil just because it's not being used.
You know
as
what?
A sword. but-
Okay, I see that logic.
Answers in.
Yeah.
Foil. I'm going to switch my answer to foil.
All right.
All right. America. So we've got Aaron, Jude, and Seiji. Oh, and Patrick. Sorry, the 4 confused me. And Patrick. Oh, did you have a 4, Elliot? Okay, all right. So also Elliot. Yeah, please do not erase your answer until we're both swords that were on the spectrum between a messer and a saber and a cutlass, like in that general spectrum of swords. But why we don't study them in modern HEMA, I don't know. You know, but the foil was not in common use until at least the late 18th century, so well after the colonial period. All right, no, next question. In what country is Kvetten currently located?
Well, I know the answer to this one. How about you, Ronan?
I believe it's. Oh,
Can we
man.
get another marker over there and get a bearing one?
It's not Serbia.
No, it is not. Not yet.
Not yet.
That's where
They're
they're
moving
planning
to Serbia.
move to. Yep. I'll give you a hint. It's also a
this
state.
away.
They're in Georgia.
There we go. Yeah, that's right.
All right, answer's in. All right, so I see 1, 2, 3, 3 correct answers. The correct answer is Georgia, the country of Georgia. So, Seiji doesn't get a point, but you get kudos because the O lives in the Czech Republic. But Kvetten itself is in Georgia. So, they are moving. That's why I say currently. They are about to move to Serbia. But they are wait, you got points already? You got points? You got points? Okay, all right. Everyone ready to go? Next question. Rob Childs is making waves with his no-tell thrusts. If English master George Silver were to describe Rob's thrusts using the system found in his Paradoxes of Defense, how... Alliterating means they need to have similar sounds, like Silly Sally. Are all the answers in? No, we still got people thinking.
Well, on this live stream,
Is that right?
I suspect
still
that he would have some very strong language.
Yeah, for this one in particular. Is this mine, or I think that one's mine? Oh, this one's mine. That means this one's mine. And I do see a few correct answer. The correct answer is next one. True time. I will allow true times. So we've got correct answers from Alex.
I'm gonna disagree with that.
I'm
but it's
going to
not
call
my event.
ridiculousness on that one.
Seiji.
This is absolutely not true time.
HEMA in the aughts. Western martial arts, historical European combatives, the martial arts of Renaissance Europe, or medieval and Renaissance martial arts. 3 out of 4 of these were commonly used to refer to what we know as HEMA in the aughts.
I'm going to go with medieval and Renaissance martial arts. I don't believe that one was ever used, though
All right, looks like,
I wasn't in HEMA at the time.
Yeah, and I will say, while I certainly recognize two of these, I'm just, for the sake of argument, going to go with what Small Sword Pete said behind me
All right,
and go with his
answer,
top.
Western.
Indeed.
Keep your screen up if you got this right. I see Paul got it right. Oh yeah, and Seiji got it right. So, back when I joined HEMA, the word HEMA had been coined, but virtually no one was using it. We didn't have a unified name for what we do now. And at the time, some people were calling it Western, that people, like those two were the first names that people were kind of coalescing around. And of course, John Clements really, really liked the name Mare, Martial Arts of Renaissance Europe. And to this day, I believe John Clements still uses that term to refer to what Arma does as Mare. But no one was really calling it medieval and Renaissance martial arts very much. It had been around for a few years. And then in the late aughts, when the HEMA Alliance was formed, they put out a contest, as it were, for people to submit names. And they're like, what should we call this organization? And I, being aware of the HEMAC, I'm like, you know what, I really, really like that word HEMA. I love this word. And that name stuck. And so, but with HEMAC and the HEMA Alliance being the two largest HEMA organizations in the world at that time, HEMA just became the name for what we do. So a little bit of modern HEMA history there for you. All right, next question. Though it devastated the whole of Europe, in which part is the Black Death most commonly believed to have originated? Western Europe?
Chad, I'm going to have to go with Western Europe. What do you think?
I mean, ultimately, that's where we see things being
All
really
right,
terrible. But I
answers are
think
in.
it might be Eastern Europe. It depends on how you think the rats brought it over, right? Because it's generally thought to have come from the East.
Eastern Europe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It hit the South before it hit the North and the West, but it started in the East. So yours is upside down, but John got it correct. Yeah, so England may have thought it came from the South,
I heard it came from Venetians. It was originally Yamnaya culture.
Yeah. All right, let's go on to the next question. All right, today, many countries belong to intergovernmental organizations. If the city of Carthage were still around today, which of the following intergovernmental organizations would be most appropriate for it?
Do you know where Carthage was, Ronan?
I do. I'm going to say African Union.
Yeah, it was located in what is modern-day Tunisia.
Okay, all right.
Yeah.
African Union.
Even though it was possibly the biggest rival and enemy of Rome for quite a while, Rome being a European country. So we've got
Fun
Aaron,
fact,
we've got
as
John,
Michael's talking about it,
we've got
the
Patrick, Jude,
Romans did
and
fight with
Fonzie.
Carthage in what are famously known as the Punic Wars, which can be confusing considering it's Rome versus Carthage. But you have to take into effect that colony.
The word Festbuch means what?
I think we both know this one. A fact book
I'm actually
refers
hopeful
to
everyone will
a
get this one
fight
right.
book.
Despite the fact that it's free response.
Yeah.
But spelling
Or a
that.
fencing book. It's always a fun question of, does fecht mean
Everyone
fight
ready?
or fencing? What's the better
Answers are in.
translation
Okay,
in
I
our
see.
modern
Fight book,
context?
fence
And
book.
yeah, and there we go. Michael agrees with it that it could
all
be
correct
fighting
answers,
or
possibly
fencing.
The first time that is, fechten is usually, or fecht usually refers to fencing, but it can sometimes be used for fighting. I have found historical references from the 16th century where the term fechten is clearly being used to refer to a fist fight, and there's no fencing about that. So either is correct. Peter, we do. It is Jude. Jude gets a bonus point for winning in this round. Did you give him his bonus point? Give him a bonus point, please. There we go. All right, now we're going to go and make sure you score it in round 2 box for this next round. All right, as we go through the rounds, the questions will start to get somewhat more difficult. All right. Who was the first master to mention the word spadroon in his treatise?
Maine.
I have literally no idea.
I'm going to say Angelo.
You're going to go with Angelo? I'll go with
Something that's
Roworth.
halfway between a broadsword and a small sword. It's light and it can stab real nicely. but it can also cut, though it is a matter of debate how effective it is as a cutting weapon. Some people hate them, some people love them. Looks like our answers are all in. Let's go ahead and reveal the answer. It is Donald.
It was, in
It
fact,
was
McBain.
McBain.
Well, the
first
Rat
time the
King,
word
not
spoon was ever
known
found
for
with a
his
sword. Not Angelo.
witty intelligence, just his witty commentary.
Well, I gotta say, Ted, nobody
Yeah, McBain
actually
wasn't just a
cares
character,
about what
he also
McBain has to say, so
Popularized
Or
sword
what a
skill.
spadroon is.
I gotta
right.
say,
Next
you
question.
can't blame me.
Based on surviving examples, which of the following is closer to the niches?
A 33.
Sure. My daughter
You bought the
thinks
brochure
it's
from me
how long?
yesterday.
How long do you think it is, Cara? She says her brain knows, but she refuses to tell me.
We're talking, of course, about the length of a blade, in case everyone needs to change their answer. All right, answers are in. It is 33 inches.
Nailed it.
They could go as long as
Our
37
epic
inches or as short as
intelligence pulled
31,
us
but
through on that one. Definitely
was
did not guess
33.
in the slightest. We're killing it.
Absolutely.
A group of them got together and made a play lambasting him, ultimately giving rise to the modern word misogynist. Yes, the word misogynist comes from a historical fencing master. Was it Donald McBain, George Silver, Joseph Swetnam, or Zach Wilde?
You know what? I'm going to say, I don't know, but I wouldn't be surprised if it was Vietnam.
I know that Small Sword Pete was talking about that. I'm going to go with Silver just because I know it's not, in fact, him. He's got a lot of his own problems, but I don't think it's that one.
Looks like our answers are in. The answer is Joseph Swetnam.
Nice job,
Famous
Ronan.
for
Nice
how
job.
he was not nice to women, to the point where they commissioned a play or wrote a play or whatever. And in the play, the main character, I think, had a name something like...
At least he wasn't very
Next
good.
question. What was the original name of the Seattle-based event, which was eventually replaced by Sword Squatch? Any of our learned people competing today? No, it doesn't look like it. They ought to know the answer to this one.
I believe this one was actually used to be known as PNW Fexula.
Gonna go with Epcot ball.
Yes, Seattle being famous
20
for the
seconds.
Epcot Center.
Oh, 15. All right, Sword Squatch has been around for a while, but even longer before it, answers are in. We had, of course, the Pacific Northwest HEMA. Yep, and that is it. Usually referred to as the PNW HG. Wait, no, Patrick got it wrong. HEMA gathering. Sorry, Patrick. Very close. Very, very close. Yeah, commonly referred to as the PNW HG or PNW HEMA G. Sword gathering, but it was the HEMA gathering. All right, next question. What is the name of the largest HEMA group in Scotland, originally founded by Ben Kerr and Keith Farrell in Glasgow, which now includes over 20 clubs throughout the United Kingdom? Is it the Academy of Arms, the Academy of Historical Fencing,
HEMA
or the
Alliance
clubs?
website. I'm gonna have to go with
There's a certain
Academy
type
of
HEMA club
Historical
name
Arts.
sometimes.
No. Academy of Arms. Let's go with Academy of Arms.
All right, this is one of the largest HEMA federations.
All right,
actually
and
in the
I'll
world
go
right
with
now.
the Academy
Answers
of...
are in.
Well, yeah, let's go with Academy. Oh, you should have stuck with it.
Oh, I should have
Historical
stuck with
Arts,
it.
Number 3 question. One of the most commonly used wasters in Europe was designed by London-based HEMA instructor Dave Rawlings. This longsword waster, which is sometimes called by his name, is produced by which HEMA manufacturer? The Red Dragon, Superior Fencing, Black Fencer, or Hanway?
What do you think, Ronan?
Well, I don't buy Red Dragon gear,
Used in
so
America as well, but
I
not
wouldn't know.
nearly as common as in Europe. All right, answers are in. The answer is Red Dragon.
Yeah,
Most
Black
of our
Fencer
competitors
is
got
the
this right.
producers of
Not
fine
Elliot, not
synthetics
Seiji,
and
but
even some
everyone
steel
else it looks
swords
like.
out of Spain.
Oh, not Paul either. Not Paul either. So,
Sure.
yep, Jude. Not Seiji. Oh, yes, Seiji. Sorry, yes, Seiji. Yes, Seiji.
Oh
Sorry,
yeah, if you are interested in getting a Black
Yep.
Fencer sword,
All right.
SoCal Swords, one of our
Answers. Okay, we're good.
sponsors for this
Next question.
live stream and tournament.
Which Norman king
carry on.
signed the Magna Carta? This is often viewed as the precursor to the modern Constitution. But contemporarily, he was generally known as being very weak for having done so. I'm giving you guys hints. Not really good hints, though.
I was not expecting general history questions. Johns?
I could say Anglo-Norman, I suppose.
All right. I'm trying to remember. I will be honest. If this was a question about
that
16th century England or Europe, I would be on it a bit before my time.
A bit before our time.
All right. Everyone got their answers? Answers are in. All right. It is, wow, only Alec. Only Alec. King John Lackland.
That's right. It
sometimes
was
known
one
as
of the
Prince
Johns.
John of Robin Hood fame. Happens to be
Fair
one of my
enough.
ancestors. But yeah, known as Lackland. Does anyone know why he was called Lackland?
He's the youngest son.
Nope. He's called Lackland because he lost Normandy to the French. The Norman kings always controlled a lot of land at that point. All right, next question. Which of the following modern European countries was not wholly or mostly part of the Holy Roman Empire when it was at its greatest extent in the 13th century? Was it Switzerland, Czechia, Slovenia, or Slovakia?
Well, what do you think, Ronan?
I'm
know
going to
the
go with
answers.
Czechia.
That was known as Bohemia at the time. Does that change your answer?
Then we're going to go with Slovenia.
Also part of Bohemia.
Oh, my God. Slovakia.
Answers are in.
I'm going to go with Switzerland because they famously have...
Slovakia.
Oh.
Switzerland
First try,
had
killed it.
never been conquered after it broke away from the Holy Roman Empire later on. But yeah, so those of you who have Slovakia, that is the correct answer. Switzerland, Czechia, and Slovenia were almost entirely within the bounds of the Holy Roman Empire when it was at it. Frequently shows up in English language HEMA treatises and is often confused for the letter F. If any of you own Jared Kirby's translation of Donald McMahon, he puts in F all the time when he should be putting in the modern version of this character.
You know what? Usually, I'm not too bad with linguistics. This one's confounded me.
I'm weird enough that I actually use this character in my normal writing. All right, it looks like we have all of our answers in. Jude didn't even want to try. Okay, all right, we have 0 correct answers. The name, I said modern English name, not modern German name. So sorry, nope. This is a long S, that character. If you see this, it's a long S. Yeah, and so in Jared Kirby's transcription of McBain, he will often write the word flip when McBain has slip. Always something to be wary of when you're reading a transcription of an English treatise. All right, gotta see who is our victor for round. We have Elliot has pulled out in round 2, so Elliot gets 2 extra points for his performance in round 2. All right, round 3. What was the last manuscript we have that Fiore wrote? Was it Florius de Arte Luctandi, Flos Duellatorum, Fior di Battaglia, or Trattato della Scherma?
I believe that translates to the flower of
Sometimes in
battle.
adult treatises there is
That's, I think, the third one that it translates to that. I neither know nor care what the correct answer
Yeah,
is.
I don't care. It's Fiore.
Yeah, not a florist. For any of our florists that are watching or listening to this, feel free to roast me in the comments. It's okay. It's the only way you're going to win a fight.
All right. Looks like we are.
Okay, I had to
Florius
sit
de
with that
Arte
one for a
Luctandi.
second. I got that one right. I don't know
Now,
how.
These are all actually in reverse chronological order. So the earliest was number 4 here, and the last is number 1. You'll note that the only one that is, well, we'll get to that in a minute. All right, next question. What is the most obvious reason Fiore chose to name 3 of his treatises variations on the flower of battle? Those top 3 names you saw there, they all
He wasn't very
meant
creative.
The flower of battle in modern English.
He really liked flowers.
He was a florist.
They're pretty. You got nothing?
I got nothing.
Again,
He's a
it's-
florist. He's flower. Ha!
Yeah. Again, I'm going to just sit and stare at it because, again, apologies to any of our...
Flower.
Yeah. I mean...
At least in Italian.
Oh, there we go.
5 seconds.
All right, good answer. I wish I cared.
It is
Sorry.
time. Set down your writing implements. All right, our answers are in, and it is because his name, Fiore, means flower in Italian.
Close enough. I'm going to say that I got that.
And those days, nope. Yeah, we will not count metaphor, any of this. Yes? Oh. They say the answers that are wrong? I'm hearing a lot of stuff about poetry and flowers and metaphors. Right. And yes, the flower of battle is a great metaphor, but the most obvious reason is that Henri de Saint-Didier encouraged his students to practice which sport to improve their fencing? Golf, tennis, running, or lacrosse?
I'm going to go with tennis. This is I believe, since it's a Frenchman, I'm going to say tennis.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's a reasonable choice, right? Like, we would consider golf as Native American, so it's definitely not that.
All right, our answers are in.
Tennis was popular at the time, and the original version much more violent than what we see today.
Everyone except
Yeah,
you is
tennis.
correct. The answer is tennis.
No, I don't believe that running was a very
impressed that
popular
most of you know that.
sport at the time.
No, it was just something you did to get away from other people.
Yep. All right. A Utahn by the name of Brian Hunt was at the Hunter's Forge, Wasting Wasters, the Dwarven Smithy, or Black Lance.
I'm going to go with Black Lance. Or no,
You should know the answer to this one.
the Hunter's Forge? No, because they're wasters. Black Lance. Gonna go with Black Lance.
A lot of you have heard of the Utah company Black Lance, but it was not Black Lance that produced these wasters. It was the Dwarven Smithy. So that is Alec and Seiji. Seiji's been around long enough to remember, maybe.
I guess I'm
Black
just
Lance
not
makes
old
wonderful
enough to
gloves.
get that reference.
Wonderful gloves. That was a red herring for those of you who remembered Black Lance. By Hank Reinhardt. What was its name? Was it Skull of St. George? The Association for Renaissance Martial Arts? Chicago Swordplay Guild? Or the Historical Armed Combat Association?
I'm going to go with the Chicago Swordplay Guild because it doesn't sound very HEMA-y. It sounds like we just...
Known as John Clemence's group ARMA. It's the Historical Armed Combat Association. HACA was the forerunner, and then John Clements. There was some drama, as I recall. I don't remember the exact details, but ultimately it would evolve into ARMA.
Again, I think this is just one that I'm not old enough to really...
This is actually the group that I first got my start in HEMA. Later on, in the early aughts, this became ARMA, the Association for Renaissance Martial Arts. But it was, at the time, in 1992, and for about a decade, HACA. All right. Next, did you get all the scores? Yep. Next question. All right. HEMA ratings uses a variation of an algorithm designed by a Harvard statistics professor, initially designed for chess. What is this algorithm called? Is it the ELO or ELO, Glico, Rating Percentage Index or RPI, or the Dickinson system?
I'm going to go with ELO chess system.
Yeah,
Probably
famously known
most of
as,
you
absolutely.
have looked at
I
your HEMA
suspect
ratings at
everyone
some point or
immediately knew
another.
this one.
Do you know what goes into it? All right, answers are in. The correct answer is Glico, specifically Glico 2. We have one correct answer here. Oh, B. Yep,
All
sorry,
right.
B is
Well,
correct.
apparently I'm wrong.
Yep. Yeah, HEMA ratings use the Glico 2 system.
You know what? I never would have
The other three
expected
systems
that.
there
As
are all used similarly to rate, and Elo and Dickinson are both used in chess. Still exists today and is often treated as a sovereign state under international law. They're basically a country, even though they have no land.
Do you know this one, Ronan?
I have no idea.
It's the Knights
least it's
Hospitaller of the Holy Order of like Malta or something like that. They ruled Malta for quite a while. They've sat, but they're still considered to be a country. They simply don't have any of their own land.
Okay, what do they do? Question mark.
They have money, as I understand it.
Okay.
I will accept a couple of different answers for this one. That's timed. The Knights of Malta, I will accept the Hospitallers. I will not accept the Templars. They were burned to the stake and disbanded. Knights of Malta, yes. Order of Malta, yes. Yep. Everyone except for Jude on this one. Yeah. Their formal title is the Sovereign Military Order of Malta, but they were originally the Knights Hospitaller. Later held by Almoravids, Almohads, and others until the fall of the Nasrid dynasty's last European holdings in 1492. What is this historical Muslim-ruled region now called by historians today? Is it the Maghreb, Sicily, the Balkans, or Al-Andalus?
I'm going to go with the Balkans. Number 3 seems like the safe answer, so I'm going to go with that.
In Europe. You thinking? All right, our answers are in. The correct answer is Al-Andalus. This is the...
Never would have
This one's
guessed.
correct. Yeah, most of Spain was ruled by Muslims for a very, very long time. Until 1492, the last, it was Granada, I believe, the Emirate of Granada that fell. All right, next question. Many of the Festbücher are written in early New High German. What modern European language is descended from early New Low German? It's usually not called that, but...
I'm gonna go with Swiss. No. Fine, Swiss. I don't know. No idea.
Thinking? 15 seconds. All right, our answers are in. The correct answer is Dutch. Alec
Read.
is, or the Netherlands, rather, in Dutch is Nederlands or Netherlands, which means lowlands, because that's where the low-lying areas were. So that's what Low German is versus High German.
Did they give the point to him?
Alec, did you get Alec?
I thought I didn't get it.
Oh, did you give Alec a point?
Alec, not Elliot.
That final round. Oh wait, we got to check our. We have a leader. Yes, Paul is the leader for round 3. Paul will get 3 extra points. Different leader every round. This is getting exciting. All right. Round 4. If French fencing master Labat's personality was based on where he was from, how might he be described? As very nice? As
One. Oh, no, he's just scooting over. Never mind. I'm going to go with number 2. Question mark.
All right, our answers are in. Of course, it would be definitely Toulouse for his own good, because là-bas is from
Killed it.
Toulouse. Is it Urbano, Mantua, Cividale del Friuli, or Caprese?
I'm going to go with number 4, Caprese.
Sometimes when his full name is given, this is included in it. But almost no one ever gives his full name. All right. Answers are in, and it's Cividale del Friuli. Yeah, in his name, he's often sometimes called Fiore dei Liberi, something Friuli. I don't actually remember the full name. Several people got this answer correct.
I was ever going to get that one.
And called by Chichester the Walpurgis Festbuch, has what official name or catalog number today?
That is
It's
the
no longer
MS-133 manuscript. Oh, hold on. The mostly no. Never mind. I don't know.
Time is up. Put your writing utensils down and reveal your answers. I will allow Festbuch 1, even though it's slightly wrong. The correct answer is Fest 1.
Fine.
Fest 1.
Cool.
So Jude is the only one who gets a point there. Yeah, its new catalog number is Fest 1. It's so famous that they are like, yeah, so anyone calling it 133, get it with the times. No, I'm just kidding. All right, let's go on to the next question. Which of the following HEMA clubs was so upset with John Clements? Back. John Clements claims that they published an open letter challenging him to a public duel or competition. Was it Arma Greece, Arma South Korea, Arma Poland, or Arma Provo?
I'm going to go with Arma Greece.
This was a very, very famous
I'm going to
thing,
go Arma
I don't
Provo.
know, a decade, 15 years ago?
I'm going to be honest, folks. Peter's probably right.
All right, our answers are in. The correct answer is Arma Poland.
Never
The
mind. Peter
members of
couldn't be
Arma
more
really
wrong.
were not happy with some of the things that Clements was saying, and they wrote an open letter published to Google. Next question. What is the name of the publishing company run by Richard Marsden, which shares, I should say, a partial name with his series of novels?
I'm going to have to go with Epcot Ball.
Who would get this? Oh. 10 seconds. Titled The Truly Most Greatest Battle Ever. They're also one of our sponsors this year at Battleborn. And
Never
he's
heard
here.
of it.
Is Richard here or is he outside? Richard, are you here?
I'm pretty sure it's outside.
He's outside. Well, we love you anyway, Richard. All right. Okay, what is the Wiktenauer's current motto? Is it Insquequo omnis gratuiti fiant, Insquequo omnis gratuiti sint, Insquequo omnis libri sint, or nihil sine studio? They're all in Latin. All right, now before we go on and give the answer,
I
how many of
tried
you
looking it
have
up.
used the Wixen Hour
I was going to
before?
make a joke about definitely
Right?
not having it off of
This
my
is
phone, but
The page,
Yeah, no, I have
the
no
heading
idea.
of your browser will show this motto every time you log into Wixen Hour. How many of you use the Wixen Hour all the time?
I use it all
like
the
I
time.
do. Go. Only a handful of you. All right. All right, let's go into the answer. Omnis gratuity fiant means until they all become free. Previously, several years ago, a long time ago, Wixen Hour's motto initially was Insquiquo omnis gratuity sint, until they are all free. But it is now until they all become free, and has been for several years now. That is the goal of Wixen Hour. And this, by the way, is free as in beer, not free as in freedom. All right, next question. Shortly after Fiore wrote his treatises, his birthplace, Friuli, was annexed by which sovereign state? Was it the Papal States, the Republic of Venice, the Republic of Genoa, or the Republic of Florence?
I'm going to have to go with the Republic of
He's not competing. So.
Florence. I'll cry, but I'm going to have to go with Florence.
This would have been in 1420, which probably doesn't help anyone, but. All right, our answers are in. Okay, the correct answer is the Republic of Venice. Friuli was very close to Venice, and it was annexed by then in 1420.
Where are those two?
Next question. There are two separate British Crown dependencies in the English Channel, both of which are governed as independent bailiwicks, and both of which have the distinction of being territories of Normandy when it conquered England. The larger was traditionally famous for its clothing and cows, and the other was featured in the quirky title of a 2018 film. What are they?
Epcot.
You know, these might be the Channel Islands.
Five. Time. So, ooh, I see some correct answers here. All right, so the correct answer is Jersey and Guernsey. In case you're wondering, the film is the Guernsey Literary and Potato Peel Society. Yeah, Jersey, New Jersey is named after Jersey, as well as the Crown of England, which is to say the King of England currently, but they do not belong to the United Kingdom. And so, for example, when Britain was part of the European Union, Jersey and Guernsey were not. They were outside of the European Union. They don't have to pay British taxes. They don't follow British laws. They print their own currency, but they still belong to the King of England. All right.
Huh. Okay.
If Kunst des Festens were translated into Middle Italian, which of the following might be a good translation of it?
Armazare.
Abrazare, Armado, or Battaglia?
I'm going to go with Armazare.
Strong random guess.
Not random. Definitely not random. Going with Armazare.
All right. The correct answer is Admizade, not Abrazade.
Yeah,
Admizade,
see?
basically meaning weapons. Yep, yeah.
How's that
Correct,
feel?
Correct. Nope.
Huh?
Correct. Okay.
I don't care.
Admizade basically means the same
Yes,
thing.
he
It
does.
means
He's crying.
martial arts,
Physically.
sword
He's
fighting,
crying. Not
all
on the
that
inside.
stuff. Abrazade means wrestling. Armado means armored, and Battaglia just means fighting. Answers. Because it's the Silver State. Yeah, and who? Okay, looks like we have a tie for the final round here. Is that Alec and Elliot? Let's give them both 4 points. At Battleborn 4. And all of you who are going to be fencing in small sword, we're going to be starting gear check immediately. What was that? No, women's, yeah. What?
Feels like we didn't go over exactly
So
how that's
how was
tallied
that?
in advance.
I believe they count
My
the
goal
tallies.
was that
Well,
all
yeah, but there was some
questions, at least
debate
one
over
person should
there
get them
on
right,
how that's
and
done.
at
I'm
least
not
one
sure
person should
why
get them wrong, right? And then
there was debate
obviously they
there,
varied
but there
on which end of
definitely is
that we were
debate.
on for some of them. So I am demiking. Some one. That was the one that was beat me 2 points. We didn't have anyone get that wrong.
None of these are things that we actually experienced in class. Like this is the ones that I didn't get right was all because I took some classes or I understand
Thank you. Are you tabling for small for food?
All right, while the scores are being tallied, I do want to remind our viewers that we will be ending this stream.
We figure out who won? Nope. Oh, sorry.
You know, Peter, this
Well, naturally, there are a lot of tallies to be tallied, so there could be ties, and they could be deciding how to determine the winner after said tie. Or
Sorry, I cut him off there. He was saying something ridiculous. Anyway, I do think none of the people involved know how to count, so I have to get involved. Hold on, I don't know how to count either.
yeah, I was gonna say, how'd you do in math?
Yeah, I didn't. I've never been to elementary school, as previously stated in previous streams. So we'll just have to wait until these judges crack open a textbook.
Yeah, Labata one I had to guess. Which I was like, Toulouse is a very major medieval city, and Metz is way too German. Yeah.
Levant was a southern French.
Yeah, so Levant was a southern French name. It's either Nice or Toulouse.
I guess Toulouse.
Yeah, I did